Ben McKee, West Rucker, Go Vols 247 here in Thompson Bowling Arena after Tennessee destroys Texas 82-71. The score kind of close, but it did not feel that close, and in large part because of a career night from Olivier Cumwa, who had 27 points, a career high.
Yeah, I think, Ben, you got to give some credit to Texas, because I think a lot of teams, when this arena's like this and Tennessee's playing like that, a lot of teams are walking out of here with 30-point losses. I think you have to give Texas some credit for hanging in there and being tough, but Tennessee was not losing this game. When Tennessee plays offensively the way that it played in this game, Tennessee's probably not losing to anyone, especially in this arena. But Olivier Cumwa, this night, Ben, this game is why Rick Barnes doesn't give up on Olivier Cumwa, and it's why anyone who's being smart will not give up on Olivier Cumwa, because he has the ability to do this just about any night. He doesn't always do it, but he can.
Yeah, tonight is why Tennessee is a legitimate national title contender. The only thing is they do have to find consistency, stating the obvious there, and it's easier said than done. But if they can click the way that they did tonight, then the sky is the absolute limit for this team. And as you and I have kind of had conversations over the last couple of weeks, really since early December, late November, about the offense, I've had the opinion that tonight was more of an accurate representation of what the offense will be by the end of the season than maybe what we saw the first 2 months of the season.
Yeah, I think it might have been like a little bit better than what I think the average night will be, but I think you're in the ballpark. I think you're not wrong. This is what this offense could be. And let's not forget, Santiago Vescovi had 10, 11, 12 points in this game.
12.
Josiah Jordan-James is in foul trouble in the first half. Uros Plavsic, another guy who can score the ball, played 6 minutes tonight. This was not kind of like an all cylinders firing kind of night for Tennessee. But this is one of those games where it's that conversation that you have all the time going into the postseason. The season gets down to kind of nut cutting time. Does a team have a guy that you can just count on, like at the end of a game, you need a shot, you got to score, can he do? Tennessee may not have that guy. Tennessee's got about 5 or 6, maybe even 7 guys who can do that. So that's the conversation. Like, would you rather have one main guy, or would you rather have 5 to 7 guys who could?
Yeah, and on the defensive end, Texas scores 20 more points than Tennessee is giving up on average, but Texas also scores 10 points fewer than it had been averaging. They were averaging 80.5 points per game, which is the highest margin, or highest mark, I should say, since the 2009-2010 Texas team. So the highest scoring offense in over a decade. So I'm sure Rick Barnes will have a long to-do list when watching the defensive film, but it was still a good defensive performance. And look, Texas is a really good basketball team.
Yeah, it's a top 10 team. It's a legitimately top 10 team. And the other thing, and I think it helped Texas a little bit in this game, Texas is the 7th or 8th most experienced team in college basketball statistically. People always talk about Tennessee's experience. Tennessee's like 50 or 60 or 70, I think, somewhere. Texas is a top 10 team in terms of experience, in terms of age, which is huge in college basketball. People talk about one and dones and two and dones. No, you need some older guys, and Texas has those guys. But honestly, I think this night was a little bit about Texas and a lot about Tennessee, because Tennessee, you're not going to get this home court advantage all the time. But when you have that and you have this kind of team, when Tennessee plays offense like this, you're going to have to be ridiculous to beat this team.
Yeah, Olivia Cumwa, the story coming out of this one, but I think the thing we should have talked about earlier is just how more physical Tennessee is than Texas, and really everybody in the country.
Yeah, well, Tennessee's got a couple things that are great to have this time of year and any time of year. Tennessee's usually got the best point guard on the floor, and Tennessee's usually the strongest, most physical, aggressive team on the floor. You give me those two things, you can live with a couple flaws in other places.
Yeah, you certainly can, and Tennessee's got a big week coming up. They go to Florida on Wednesday night, and then Bruce Pearl will be in here a week from today.
He used to coach here too.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting storyline, and a win that I know Tennessee fans will certainly want. He's Wes Rucker, I'm Ben McKee.